Hey, how are you, folks? Jason Horowitz. Glad to be with you here on CBSSports.com, breaking down the Alamo Bowl. It's Missouri and it's Northwestern. It's Big 12 meeting Big Ten. Let's bring in Spencer Tillman to break this down here on CBSSports.com as we have all season long. And Spence, let's start with the Tigers. Gary Pinkel's squad. They lost to Kansas. They got blown out in the Big 12 championship game by Oklahoma. What is the psyche of this Missouri team heading into the Alamo Bowl? Because it certainly was a disappointing end of the season.
Well, now that you paint that picture, they do come in this one limping, don't they? And if I'm not mistaken, I think they were outscored nearly 2-1 in those combined contests. So one of the things they've got to do is get back on track. The thing that'll help them is if Chase Daniels doesn't turn the football over like has been his way at times during the season. So, yeah, I don't think Missouri can come in this with a lot of confidence. I mean, those last two wins are nothing to be ignored. I think Northwestern will take a look at that and see what they can exploit to try to come away with the win for the first time in, 60 years in a bowl game?
Yeah, that's the one right there, Spence. That's the number that Northwestern's trying to break. And the way they have to do it, they got to try and slow down that Missouri offense, which, like you said, not a lot of confidence maybe coming in as a team because of those two losses, but that offense is still very high-powered when you look at Chase Daniel and Jeremy Maclin and all the other weapons they have.
Yeah, Kaufman at tight end, Maclin, as you pointed out, that showed Oklahoma, he can still score, and he's a weapon. Again, it comes back to Chase Daniel. The ball's going to touch his hands first, and again, if he can take care of it and get the ball delivered to them, which kind of takes you to one of the keys of the game, and I know I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but really it's going to be up to Northwestern to try to get pressure on him. But I think Chase Daniels is the special player in this whole mix. He has been all year long, and I got to believe they want to go out with a bang. I mean, he's been there for a long time and has always been the bridesmaid, never the bride, and it's an unfortunate situation for them, but at least they got there. They're on the weak side of the Big 12 in the North Division, and they played for championships. They've just never been able to close the deal.
Yeah, that's been the case in the last couple of years. They've been up towards the top and then fallen off, and then they fell off pretty hard at the end of this year. His counterpart, though, talking about Chase Daniel, would be C.J. Bechet, quarterback for Northwestern, also ending his career. What does he have to do in this game?
Well, Mick McCall is his offensive coordinator, and Bechet really has benefited from a simplification of their offensive scheme. They do run a spread concept, but it's not nearly as complicated. His reads are very simple, and so what it allows him to do is to maintain drives, and that can be very frustrating. Again, like we talked about in a couple of other games, when you're a high-powered offense, as is Missouri in this particular case, when you don't have an opportunity to get on the football field, it makes it a lot more complicated to get into a rhythm from a play caller's point of view. So that's got to be something that they walk in with on their mind. And again, the fact that they limp into this one as opposed to with momentum, with two straight losses where they've given up a lot of points, it really makes for a very uncertain situation for Missouri.
As opposed to the fact where Northwestern is heading into this game on a winning streak. When you look at Northwestern, Spence, what's the key for them to pull off the upset?
Getting pressure on Chase Daniel, that's got to be the key for them. I mean, they lead the conference, does Northwestern, in terms of sacks. They've got 33, and they pressure the quarterback pretty well. That's one thing that they do that's exceptional. If they can do that, they're going to have a chance to stay in this ball game. Again, the confidence is going to be a big factor. As we pointed out at the top of this talk, 60 years, that's a long time and a great motivating factor to get this ball club motivated to get a win and erase that time. Because, listen, when they get 9 wins there, that's something special. They've got winning tradition established now. Now they need to get postseason winning tradition established with a win here.
And Pat Fitzgerald has done a very good job as the head coach in unfortunate circumstances.
Yes,
when
he has.
Of course, took over when he took over at Northwestern. You said that was the key. Do they get it done, and do they beat Missouri?
Well, I don't think they're going to beat Missouri. I think Northwestern is a good team, a very smart team, but I think Missouri has a little bit too much offense for them, and it'll take Northwestern a little bit too long to score.
All right, Chase Daniel playing in his last game at Missouri. Spencer Tillman, thank you very much, sir. We'll talk to you and break down other bowl games here on CBSSports.com.
All right, Jason, we'll see you, buddy. Enjoy the snow up there.
Yeah, that's the case. There's not going to be any snow in San Antonio for the Alamo Bowl, and they'll play it indoors. For Spencer Tillman, I'm Jason Horowitz. We'll see you on CBSSports.com. Take care, folks.